Good afternoon. It's Friday, February 10th. I'm Jim Carney. I'm here at the Iowa State Bar Association headquarters offices. Lisa Hansen's helping me here so we can broadcast this to you. I'd like to bring you up to date on the legislative state of affairs at the Capitol and tell you about some bad things that have been happening, basically. You probably read about it in the paper. The medical malpractice bill passed yesterday. The bill passed the House on a vote of 54 to 46, passed the Senate on a vote of 29 to 20. It provides for $2 million caps on hospitals, against hospitals, and a $1 million cap for doctors. On non-economic damages. It's on its way to the governor. The governor may have even signed it here today. I don't know. But anyway, the bill has passed both the House and the Senate, and there were efforts to amend that bill. We had some Republican support in both the House and the Senate. We had some very good support from Republicans who tried to amend the bill and take the bill up to a $5 million level, but those failed. There were amendments to try to limit the increase of liability insurance premiums in view of the fact that we were passing caps. Those amendments failed. There were some good faith amendments to statutorily require insurers to operate in good faith and a cause of action if they didn't. Those failed. So the bill goes down basically clean with the caps in it. So next up, next week, and this is how you can help us, is the commercial motor vehicle cap legislation. There is a House File 201. There's a Senate File 228. Those are companion bills, and they provide for a $1 million cap in commercial motor vehicle cases. This is a horrendously bad bill, really bad legislation. We've been working to try to get amendments on the bill. Or bills. We've met with both the floor managers in the House and the Senate and provided them amendments. We don't know if they're going to take them yet. One would be to recognize that under the CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, motor vehicles are required to maintain $5 million liability coverage minimums. If they're pulling hazardous materials or vehicles designed to carry more than 15 passengers, then there's a lower standard for less than 15 passengers, and that's 1.5 million. It seems pretty commonsensical that you would have at least a $5 million cap on these cases, since the CFR requires a minimum liability policy of 5 million. We'll see if they accept those. We've also offered a reciprocal type amendment, which would mean that if a trucker from New York, Texas, or California was driving through Iowa, they have an accident, they kill someone, they maim someone, whatever it might be, catastrophic type injuries, that the cap does not apply unless the domicile state also has a cap that is the same as Iowa's. And if it doesn't have a cap, then the cap would not apply. As you all know, Iowa is the crossroads of the United States, and there's more trucks coming through here probably than any other state in the country. So we believe that amendment would be very appropriate. Just so you have a little bit of the data, and we'll provide a copy of our position paper that we sent to the House and the Senate. Motor vehicle cases are down in the state of Iowa. We've gone from 1,666 in 2012 down to 1,400 cases last year. It's a 16% reduction in the number of motor vehicle cases filed. That includes all types of motor vehicles. And of course, a commercial motor vehicle is within that set. And we know that there were only 38 cases. Now think of this, in the whole state of Iowa, 38 cases that went to jury verdict involving motor vehicles. You know, on your cover sheet that we're all required to fill out, we know how many cases are filed. We know how many went to trial. 38 in the whole freaking state. And they think we have a problem here. The other thing we'd like to point out is this. You know, if the people that are serving in the Capitol were competent enough to be elected by their constituents, you would think that the elected officials would think that the constituents were competent enough to serve on a jury trial, in a jury trial. They're smart enough to elect the elected officials, the senators of the Republicans. They should be viewed as being smart enough to sit on a jury, hear the evidence, and render a fair verdict. All this bill does is substitute a legislative arbitrary cap of $1 million on all cases, no matter how grotesque, no matter how bad they are, no matter how catastrophic they are. A $1 million fits all. We would urge you to contact your senator and your representative, and if you know other representatives and senators, to contact them and urge them to vote against House File 201, Senate File 228. These bills could be up very early next week, possibly as early as Monday. We need to stop these bills. The caps on medical malpractice are enough. Caps for the state of Iowa this year and probably forever. Anyway, another bill that we're watching very carefully and needing help on is Senate File, Senate File 171. It passed the Senate. It's the Judicial Nominating Commission bill. What this bill does is it removes the chief judge who sits on the Judicial Nominating Commission at the district level, okay? And with him or her being removed, the governor gets an additional appointment. So the governor will be appointing 6 people to the district nominating commission, and there will be no judge on the commission. We strongly believe that there should be a judge on the Judicial Nominating Commission. Doesn't have to be, in charge of the commission. Doesn't have to be the chairperson of the commission, but a judge should be on the commission. Every licensing board in the state of Iowa, doctors, dentists, veterinarians, CPAs, doesn't matter what, they all have licensed individuals who are regulated by that board on the boards that oversees them. A judge should be on the Judicial Nominating Commission. This goes back to 1963. We've been viewed as having the best system in the country. And again, it's amazing. Think about it. This system's been in place since 1963. Some people view it as being kind of an attempt by the governor to pack the district judicial nominating commissions. We really shouldn't think of it that way, because what this does is set up a process for whoever the governor is, Republican or Democrat, to control the nominating commissions. The Republicans should not forget that we had a governor here once by the name of Harold Hughes. We had a governor here once by the name of Tom Vilsack. We had a governor here once by the name of Culver. They were all Democrats. We don't want this thing flip-flopping back and forth and being subject to partisan politics. We want the process to be the least amount of subject to political persuasion as anything can be. The registration on this bill is interesting. The only group in favor of the bill, register on the bill, is Americans for Prosperity. All the other groups, the Defense Counsel, the trial lawyers, the Academy, the Bar Association, the court itself, the judicial branch itself, all are registered against this bill. Again, it's a bad piece of legislation. It will be up in the House Judiciary Committee for consideration first. And we want to try to stop it in the House Judiciary Committee. We'll have for you a list of those members who serve on the House Judiciary, and we urge you to contact them and urge them to vote no on this Senate File 171. It's just the wrong thing. It's just a horrible bill that we shouldn't be having to deal with right now. We would think that we've had enough of this judicial nominating commission process legislation for a long time. The only other thing I would like to mention, I'm being quite lengthy here, I believe, is that there is a chance that we will see some type of title insurance bill this year. We don't have a bill number yet, but we've been working with Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage is behind this bill, and trying to figure out a way that we can accommodate what they're interested in doing, which is a way to buy down interest rates on a real estate transaction without mucking around and changing the law that we have, prohibiting the sale of title insurance and restricting the charges that can be made in a real estate transaction under 535.8, I believe, of the Iowa Code, which does allow us to charge for title guarantee. Those are the main things we wanted to talk to you today about. We greatly appreciate all of your help, all of your support. For those of you who have written your legislators, emailed them, called them, met with them, thank you very much. But if you haven't done that, please communicate with them about voting no on House File 201 and Senate File 228, and for God's sakes, for sure, the House Judiciary on Senate File 171. Thank you very much.